I heard this clip, Buck. I don't even know if you've heard it yet. But our friend Peter Doocy, a.k.a. one of the only people in the White House press corps that is willing to actually ask questions, pointed out that Joe Biden said it was okay to abort babies and children, as in his criticism of the Justice Alito leaked opinion. And so Peter Doocy decided, you know what? I think I'll actually ask some questions of Jen Psaki about this. Enjoy.
Why is the president talking about the judgment to choose to abort a child?
Well, the president's view on a woman's right to make choices about her own health care is well known, well documented, well stated.
He said abort a child.
I understand, Peter, but what I'm telling you is what his position is.
And how can you guys say this is not a political issue when the president's statement about this talked about getting pro-choice officials elected?
Did I say it's not a political issue?
Yes, you actually said some call it a political issue. It is not. Abort.
Well, because the vast majority of the public believes that this should not be overturned, meaning I meant to say it's not a partisan issue, and I don't think it is.
Isn't it funny? It's amazing, Clay. They love democracy so much that they are terrified at the notion of people actually voting on this, right? These are the
I just love the I almost wish we could just pull that tiny little subset there where she said, did I say it was a political issue? And he's like, actually, she went straight to the transcript and read exactly what she said. I mean, that is pretty incredible work. And of course, the Biden White House, Jen Psaki in particular, has been taking shots at Doocy for basically a year and a half now, because he's been one of the few people who's actually willing to ask questions and point out the failings, especially with Joe Biden when it comes to speaking in general. And I just keep waiting. I mean, the perfect metaphor for the White House press corps and also the Biden minders was him getting pulled away from questions by one of the White House advisors dressed as an Easter bunny. I mean, you can't even satirize how incomprehensible much of what Joe Biden says on a day-to-day basis is, and the fact that they have to constantly be walking back him on basically any topic every time he speaks to the media is, again, further evidence of the degree to which he continues to fall victim to dementia more and more every day.
It's remarkable that the Democrats never even feel the need, it seems, to explain to us, why is Joe Biden up for this exactly? I'm just wondering. You know, we're always sitting here talking about how he's fumbled and stumbled and sounds like he's practically asleep when he's supposed to be awake, or he says something that's absurd. They ran whole news cycles on the need to use the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump from office because he was not of sound mind. And they just, I mean, the emperor's got no clothes, Clay, as we know, and they just walk around saying, look at that amazing suit that he's wearing. It's fantastic. It's embarrassing.
Doctors all the time to talk about how Trump needed to be removed from office because he was not mentally in control of his faculties. And I just think this is such an illustrative point here. Buck, there's not a single job on our radio show that Joe Biden could do. He certainly couldn't do your or my job. He certainly could not do any of the behind-the-scenes job. He couldn't book guests. He couldn't manage ad reads. He couldn't sell advertising. He couldn't manage all of the apparatus surrounding the biggest radio show in the country. Joe Biden couldn't do any job at Outkick. We're in the process of hiring a bunch of new writers and editors. I was laughing about this because I was sharing those job postings the other day. And if Joe Biden emailed in his resume, first of all, I doubt he can email. Secondly, there's not a single job at Outkick that he could do. Buck, I bet that every single small business owner listening to us right now, and there are many all over the country, I bet that none of them could find a job that Joe Biden could do. I've talked about flying on the airplanes and finally people not wearing masks. You can't fly an airplane after you're 65 years old. What job other than president could Joe Biden get hired for right now in the entire country?
It is remarkable. He's
right.
He's
I mean, can you even think of one other than politician?
He's basically unhireable except for the most powerful job in the world,
Yeah.
I guess, or being a politician. I mean, some version of that. The realities here are that the Biden administration, I wonder now what the thinking is from those around the current president about running again. Because
He says he's running.
I mean, I think he is running, but I'm just thinking the people around him have got to be thinking to themselves, how the heck are we going to pull this one off?
Weekend at Bernie's too, man. I started saying it a while ago. That's what we're headed for in the 2024 election.